let's mobilize the hips and the pelvis. So first thing we're going to do is a standing pelvic tilt. We're going to take your pelvis and tip it forward and tip it backwards. So you're just trying to move that pelvis. You'll get a little bit of arch in your back when you tip it forward. From the side, it looks like this. So tip it forward, tuck it under. So one of the best things you can do for back pain is to routinely move your pelvis, pumping spinal fluid up and down the entire spine. But people who have better control of these bones and these joints tend to have better core activation. So that's our forward back. Let's go side to side. So now you want to hike your pelvis up toward the ribs. So now you've got this lateral movement of your pelvis. So side to side. So as I hike up, hips, my pelvis and ribs are coming closer together. And here they're stretching, and then they're coming in closer together here. So we go back and forth. If it feels a little weird, it's just because you haven't done it. But it actually helps to do this in front of a mirror, so you can actually see what's going on. So let's really connect the dots, front, back, side, side. So now we do a circle. So keep the shoulders still and circle. Little Elvis in your pelvis. Okay? So again, don't move your whole body, move the lower body. And you can do all sorts of speeds. You can go really slowly, medium, a little faster, reverse the movement. But essentially, we're just connecting the dots. So this is a great one to do. People might think you're a little weird when you're standing in the grocery store, but hey, it's your body. Okay, cool. Now, we're going to mobilize the hip. You're going to lift the leg up, and then I want you to move your foot from side to side. So you're kind of loosening the hip side to side. It's a very good dynamic opener for your hip. It also works on balance. It's always a great way to challenge your balance. So you just don't make it mechanical like this. You really just want to kind of let the leg go. Let it go loose. And then we'll go to the other side. So same thing. You can start off with not a lot of movement, and as you get a little more comfortable in this position, you can kind of pick up the pace. You're just trying to loosen the hip. It's a hip loosener. Okay. We're going to go to the knee joints. So from here, I want you to get your feet right underneath you. You're going to bend your knees, move them sideways, move them forward, other side, straighten. So we're not trying to get too much of the hips, and I'm not trying to bend forward. I'm just letting my knees lead the movement. So just be mindful that your pelvis isn't doing too much work. It's more the knees. It's impossible to avoid the ankles here. Your ankles will dorsiflex. They will bend, which is great. Let's go the other way. So just trying to get some knee movement here. We're going to do another knee exercise. So now you stand on one leg, and I want you to do circles with the knee. Imagine that the lower leg's pretty heavy, and it's just kind of going in a circle. It's almost like there's a little bit of traction, creating space in that knee joint. Okay, and we go the other way. So I say very good to move all of your joints every day. And a wise teacher once told me, let's switch. A wise teacher once told me, move only the joints you plan on keeping. So let that settle in. You want to move all your joints every day. Okay, reverse the movement. Okay, so we're going to go to ankles now. So, first thing we're going to do is you're going to rock on your heels and then come on your toes. So we're going to kind of get some mobility in your toes and ankles. If I go sideways, it looks like this. So I come up onto my toes, go onto my heels. Whoa, a little bit of balance here. Keep going toes, ankles, toes, ankles. Okay, and then to get some more ankle and toes, one of my favorites, is you're going to take your hands and you're going to basically take all of your fingers and put them in between your toes, like this. And then from there, what I want you to do is, first of all, realize how tight your toes are. Because we wear shoes, we don't like to abduct or open our toes. So even this right here, creating space in your toes, can be quite a burning sensation. So as you do circles, I want you to kind of stabilize the ankle with the other hand. I want you to do about 10 ankle circles, but with your fingers in between your toes. So this is great for the ankle, but it's also really good at stretching the connective tissue in your toes and in your foot, which we all need. Reverse the circles. And I would say the more uncomfortable it is, the more you need this. This can be definitely a daily thing. And typically if you have healthy feet, healthy toes, healthy joints down here, your health is probably pretty good. In Chinese medicine, they say that disease starts in the feet. They may be onto something there. So we'll go ahead and switch. We'll do the other side. We want to get our fingers in between the toes. Really try to get in between the toes. And I feel it a lot more on this side. So I'm going to stabilize. And I'm going to do the circles. Reverse. It's amazing how taking a joint or a body part that's not used to moving and moving it, its effect on the entire kinetic chain. You will feel so much better. It'll improve your walking, improve your squatting, improve pretty much all body function. Cool, all right. And then from there we have a squat stretch. So I'm going to grab a kettlebell and I want you to hang out. We're going to hang out in the bottom of a squat for 60 seconds. So we're going to use this as a static stretch. If you can't make the 60 seconds, no big deal. Do 30 seconds, do 20 seconds, anything's better than nothing. The goal would be to get to 60 seconds. So, I'm going to come up. Now I'm going to kind of go at the side here. As I come down, my elbows are kind of at the inside of my quads. I'm going to pry my knees out and I'm going to move side to side. You can do circles. I can do infinity movements. The main thing here is to try to open up your hips and then breathe. So notice I'm not going to drop my elbows. I'm going to keep my elbows fairly high, but I will drop and sink my hips. Okay? So we got about another 20 seconds here. You can go side to side. Try to make your spine long. Try to find space anywhere you can. Long spine. You can move your head. This is a great stretch for every human. Okay, so we're going to come out of that, and then we're going to end with what I call a pump stretch. We're going to work kind of almost like a downward and upward dog. So it looks like this. So we're going to push your hips in the air, walk one heel down at a time. And we roughly go about a minute, going from maybe several pumps of your leg like this, and then I want you to drop your hips and then open up the other way. And typically I like to do some rotations, see where it feels good to move. Come back up. You can go both heels down if you want. If it hurts your back, you can go ahead and bend your knee a little bit and then drop again. And you can do more than a minute, but roughly a minute is a great place to start. Okay, so that is your joint mobility for the body weight warm-up. Do it.